Well, it is nearly midnight here in the western part of the US, but I had to make a video because Nintendo has finally at least mentioned the Switch 2. That's right, they just tweeted from the Nintendo Company Limited account to just say that, yeah, it exists and that they're making it and that they will discuss it later this fiscal year. Now, what does that mean? So let's read the tweet and then I'll give you some opinions. But this is what Nintendo had to say on Twitter. This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We will make an announcement about the successor to Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. It will have been over 9 years since we announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. We will be holding a Nintendo Direct this June regarding the Nintendo Switch software lineup for the latter half of 2024, but please be aware that there will be no mention of the Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation. So we have two key pieces of info here. One, we're getting a June Direct. That is not a surprise. Everybody has kind of expected that Nintendo will continue the E3 cadence of Directs, even with E3 being officially dead now. What is surprising is that they're just coming out and saying that, yeah, there's a Switch successor and that we're going to be talking about it within this time frame. This isn't abnormal for Nintendo, given that with the Wii U, they did similar things. They started talking about then codenamed Project NX, which, as we all know, is the Switch. The Switch 2, obviously, they've been a lot quieter about. Why? Because the Switch is wildly successful. So Nintendo knows, basically, that they could have held these cards closer to their chest for a lot longer, because why couldn't they? People are still buying Switches, people are still buying games for Switches. However, like they said, we're 9 years out from when they first announced basically the Project NX, which became the Nintendo Switch. And the hardware in the Switch isn't getting any younger. We've long since blown past the idea of tapping the Switch for all it's worth. The Switch is old hardware, and so it has long been time for something new to come along. Depending on where you land on the rumor mill spectrum of believability, then Nintendo was working on a Switch Pro, which eventually got canned, and now they're working on the Switch 2, or they're pretty much, well, done making the Switch 2 now. It's just developers are working on games for it. They're getting a launch lineup synced up. So what does Nintendo's fiscal year look like? Now, I'm doing this off the top of my head because this is a quick news update, but if I remember correctly, Nintendo's fiscal year ends every March. So that means sometime between now and March 2025, we will get full details on the Nintendo Switch successor. Me personally, I believe this is going to be a Switch 2. I can't imagine that it will be anything else. Rumors have kind of already pointed to several ideas about what the Switch 2 could be. Magnetic Joy-Con, bigger screen, downgrading from an OLED display to an LCD panel, potentially DLSS, which would enable upscaling of games from 1080p to 4K, or potentially even better screen resolution in handheld mode. We still don't know much, even through the rumor mill, about what exactly the Switch 2 is going to look like. There have been rumors of instantaneous load times similar to those on the PS5. There's been rumors of just dramatically better visuals in games. And there's been rumors of full backwards compatibility, which to me, if it is indeed a Switch 2, would not be surprising at all. This is all we know, though. Nintendo's going to give us a June Direct, and we're getting a Switch 2 reveal sometime before next March. So within the next 10 months. That's not a long time to wait anymore. It makes me wonder, though, if Nintendo is saying this, what do they expect people to do for the holidays? Are they still going to push the current model of the Switch? Because, of course, within the fiscal year means that they could announce this shortly after June. We know that it's somewhere between June and March. So not necessarily even 10 months, like a 9 or a 6 month window there, 9 month window that we're going to get. Sorry, it's late and my math isn't mathing, but here we are. We now are in the countdown to the Switch 2 reveal. I don't know about y'all, but I am incredibly excited, hence why I'm making this video. You know, I was just hanging out, getting ready for bed, wearing my Mario Kart shirt, and I'm not going to show you the rest, but I promise you there's a lot more Nintendo gear on me than you probably think. Anyway, Switch 2 countdown has started. I'm hype. You know how excited I get for these things. I want to know, are you guys excited? When do you think we're going to get more info. Is Nintendo going to repeat what they did with the Switch 1 and give us an October reveal of the hardware itself, maybe an overview trailer with a release window announcement, and then kind of fill us in towards the end of the year or the beginning of the new year? Are they going to try to repeat basically 2017 and since it worked out so well for them? Or are we going to see a new strategy? Are they going to wait till the new year? Now they don't maybe need to communicate the concept as much, so they can do a shorter reveal to release time frame. Now, if it were me, I'm hopeful that this would be in our hands by holiday 2024. However, I do think there's some wisdom to March 2025, just repeating what they did, because here in North America, that's tax time, and that's when people have a lot of disposable income that they weren't expecting to have. So let me know what you think down below. When is Switch 2 coming? When are we getting the reveal? And what the heck is it? I'm super excited. Anyway, that's it for us for today. Stay tuned to GVG for everything new on Switch 2 and all other things gaming. I'm so tired. We're just... Thanks, Nintendo. Maybe drop these like in the morning next time. Okay, everyone. Bye.